Shavua Tov, Gute Woche. I'm going to tell story number 28 of the Shivchei Baal Shem Tov. The name of the story is haBaal Shem Tov Matzah haBen Shenasa Breslau. The Baal Shem Tov found the son who traveled to the city of Breslau, which is better known by the German name Breslau. Okay. In the holy community of Mezebush, aforementioned, we've mentioned it in the stories before, there was a soicher, meaning a merchant, who was a big businessman. He was very successful, and he was one of those who were still opposed to the Baal Shem Tov. And this soicher, this merchant, had an only son who was a chacham. He was a big learner, he was very smart, and he was a marvel in his Torah studying as well as in his other qualities. Once, this son traveled to the city of Breslau, meaning Breslau, for merchandise. There was a big market in that city, and people would go from all over, far away. Here he's crossing the entire length of Poland from one corner to another and over the border into Germany to go into the city of Breslau, and he would take usually 4 weeks to do these trips, the son of the merchant. But once, in such trips, he took over 10 weeks, and nothing was known about him at all. And his family was very worried. They were concerned. 10 weeks and they don't hear from him. It usually takes 4 weeks. Until the wife of the merchant told her husband, "Why do you harden your heart so much against the Baal Shem Tov? People come to him from all over the world, from the 4 corners of the earth," literally, she says. "And you live in his city. He works wonders. You don't want to go and ask him, inquire about our son and figure out what happened to him. You should know that his words are not empty. Davar reik, not an empty word, not empty thing." But he did not want to listen to his wife. But as the days were passing by, he saw himself under pressure and in need to listen to his wife's will. And so, Erev Shabbos, just before Shabbos begins, he went to the Baal Shem Tov and he said, "Rabbeinu, our Rebbe, more than 10 weeks have passed by, and our son, my only son, went to the city of Breslau, and nothing is known about him. We have no idea what happened to him." So the Baal Shem Tov asked immediately for a book of the Zohar to be brought to him. He opened it, he looked inside, and he answered. The Baal Shem Tov, looking at the book, answers, "Your son, B'ezrat Hashem, with the help of Hashem, he's alive, and he's well, he's in peace, and he will spend this Shabbos in a town next to our city, in a place near Mezebush, at the distance of 1 parsach. 1 parasang is like 4 or 5 miles. But the man did not believe in the words of the Baal Shem Tov. How could it be? They missed their son so much, and they know it's a mutual feeling. The son knows how much he's missed, and he missed them too. Well, he stopped in a nearby, town and spent Shabbos there and not come all the way to the house. It doesn't make sense. And after coming from such a trip, selling the merchandise, he should have the money. And if he has the money, if he gets to the town, he'll pay somebody to bring him here. It doesn't make sense for him to be stuck there. But to let go of all doubt, since the Baal Shem Tov just told him that, he asked for a non-Jew to go to that town and check if his son arrived there. Obviously, it was close to Shabbos, we say, so we wouldn't send a Jew to travel in Shabbos. So he sent a non-Jew. And the non-Jew was told to go there, spend the night, look for the son. Maybe his son arrived just before the sunset. So the non-Jew came back during the night, and said, there is no voice and there is no answer. No one knows or heard anything about your son. Remember, he was told to spend the night, but the guy just came back. So the merchant said to his wife, this is what I spoke to you about before. All the words of the Baal Shem Tov are falsehood, are empty. There is nothing to them. You think the Baal Shem Tov saw something, we just send somebody to check. Nothing. But this is really what happened. The son was indeed coming back from Breslau and had planned to arrive home before Shabbos. But his cart, his wagon, suffered several damage during the week. Several times he had to stop and fix it, and he was so far delayed that he arrived in the town in the middle of the night. There is a couple of discussions and explanations, even the editor of the version of the book in Hebrew, who says most likely he had to park the car on the side of the road and walk all the way to the town, and that's why he arrives in the middle of the town. I said at the beginning, he's a Talmid Chacham, he knows the halacha, he's not going to be traveling in Shabbos. I have my own 2 cents of opinion. I'll put them in the blog, in the Patreon. The point of the story is that Motzei Shabbos, the son arrives in town. I had to spend Shabbos in that town, blah, blah, blah. And suddenly the father says, oh, my son is here. Where did you spend Shabbos? In that town. When did you arrive to that town? All the words of the Baal Shem Tov were true and correct. So he went to the Baal Shem Tov to ask for mechila, to ask for forgiveness. And the Baal Shem Tov tells him what happens, and the Baal Shem Tov tells him, you're a shoite, you're a fool. Don't you know there is a light with which Hashem created, used during the beginning of the creation, the Shivchei Bereshis, the 6 days of creation. And through this light, he can see the entire world from one extreme to another. And any man who has it, who can look at it, will see the whole world. There is nothing to stop it. And this Or Haganos, this hidden light, is guarded only for the tzaddikim in the world to come, the Aset Lavi, which is the time of Mashiach and redemption. Where was this light hidden? Where was it placed? In the Torah. And that is why, says the Baal Shem Tov, when I open the Zohar, I'm able to see the whole world, and I make no mistakes in what I see. B'ezrat Hashem. And that's it. That's the story. In future stories, we'll discuss the Baal Shem Tov capability of seeing things, and in story 120 in the Shivchei Baal Shem Tov, there is another version of the story, or very, very similar story with a lot more detail. Bli neder, I will, although I've been delayed to do so, I'll put notes about it on my Patreon blog. Please check the link in the description. Also, I accept and appreciate donations for the efforts to translate and tell these stories, and for a future publication of the entire book Shivchei Baal Shem Tov, B'ezrat Hashem, in Spanish. Shavua Tov, a gute Woche.